You heard it here first. I'm moving to Mobile, Alabama. Well, as we start day 9, incredibly already, your girl couldn't believe that because you said yesterday it was only a week. Yes, so we left on the Friday, today is Saturday, so this is the start of our 9th day of travel, and we have just left Hastings Village Marina. So far we only had to go through one lock, which is right at Hastings, lock 18, and we are going to continue course southeast towards our next destination, which might be Campbellford. Now, if you recall from our 2019 Epic Boat Cruise, I showed you what the flight locks look like, and they're pretty much the same as a regular lock on the system. It's just that it is 2 locks attached together. So one goes into a lock, and in our case we're going to be dropping down, so we'll drop down that lock, the gates open, we drive straight into the next lock, drop down, and then boom, out. And the fun and neat thing about that is the Healy Falls flight lock, which is locks 15, 16 I think. So here we are, it's another spectacular day, very hot, already shirtless today. There is very little breeze at all. So we are hoping, like I said, to get to maybe Campbellford. I would like to get a little bit beyond, because our ultimate destination for this leg of the trip is get down to Trentport Marina. I spent at least a couple of nights there. I got 2 nights booked, may have to do a third depending again on weather, because right now they're showing today Saturday, so travel day today, travel day tomorrow Sunday, and then Monday is rain pretty much all day, and then the rest of the week chance of rain, showers, thunderstorms all week. So hopefully that will change as the days progress, but it would be unpleasant going through the last few locks on a rainy day. I mean, if we have to do it, we have to do it. We've done it before. But it would just be unpleasant. So we'll see if I can get a little bit farther today, maybe more towards lock 6, even lock 8, which is a really nice spot. Then we will just stop there and then carry on and do the rest of the trip down to Trent tomorrow. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's just our tiny little pussycat. He has a tough time on the really warm days, especially yesterday. Wasn't too bad. I think we're about 4.5 or 5 hours. I'll have to look at the photos I took. Yesterday we left the bottom side of lock 20, Ashburnham lock, which is just right beside Peterborough, in essence within the city of Peterborough. And that was just one lock, and then it was just a lot of long traveling all the way down the beautiful Economy River, which I showed you already, and then across Rice Lake. But given the fact that that first stretch was more slow than anything, there was no wind, so you know, he's uncomfortable. Anchor Girl has a couple of battery operated fans, which she tries to cool him down with. Yeah, it's not too bad today. It's not too hot yet, but it's only it's 10 to 11 in the morning, so we'll see. How I started my video, what I was alluding to when I said I'm going to move to Mobile, Alabama, is because most of the loopers who are doing the Great Loop will circle around and I'm not going to say start or end their trip, but many will come down that section. Let's say off the Mississippi River, the Trent Severn Waterway. Again, I got a long-winded video on my channel. You can look it up, see what it's all about. But many will poke out to the Gulf of Mexico at Mobile, Alabama. And given the fact that most of those loopers rely extremely heavily on their thrusters, I'm going to say by the time they get down there, they're going to be burnt out. So I feel that if I set up shop there as a bow thruster service center, it could be a very lucrative business. Yeah, so the inspiration for that thought was that yesterday morning we were awoken at 7:30. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh Paul, you should be out of bed by 7:30 already. Well, no, not really, because we're on holidays and we are tending to stay up later than we should every night, especially you know, beautiful sunsets and just staying out late. So we were awakened not by a boat, but by bow thrusters, and it's right away those darn loopers, because we were at the bottom of Ashburnham Lock, as I mentioned, and many of the loopers will go into Peterborough Marina, which is right beside. You can see it. Because they can get shore power water, if they got to do food shopping, booze, liquor, beer store, everything's right there. So it's a convenient stop for many. And after years of observing their tendencies, we know that they like to travel in a pack. So if there's one and there's 5 more behind, if one's leaving first in the morning, they all got to head out side by each, almost like they got a string or a chain to pull them through. So what happened was there was already a number of boats on the tie-up wall. There was 3 looper boats that were going to be clearly going through that day. And then there's, I don't know, another 3 that came over, and then there was still another 3 when we left in the water just bobbing around. 7:30. It is publicly available information, knowing that the locks do not start until 9 o'clock. And given the fact that, so technically what that means is the first lockage is 9 o'clock, so the staff will show up there just before. But all the locks on the system start with the lock full, the top of the lock. So first lock is dropping it down, boom, getting rid of the water. If there's a boat coming through, that's going to take longer. So even in the best case scenario, that lock will not be ready till 9. Yeah, it won't be ready for those guys going up till 9:30. And so the other ones that were just hovering out in the lake, because the lock can again only accommodate maybe 4 big boats. So the other 2, 3, 4 that are right behind them still waiting, they're not gonna be able to even get into the lock till 10 o'clock or later. So it blows my mind that
gotta be in line.
They gotta be there and they gotta be in line. They gotta be there for 7:30 in the morning, and it's like, come on, folks. I honestly believe that because most of the loopers are from the good old US of A, and I think a lot of Americans just want to get through this section of the world, through Canada, and get back to their home waters. Maybe, I don't know. Why would you rush it? Why would you rush it? You got a year to do it. This is so beautiful. The best fresh water boating in the world. Many will say that, including a lot of loopers who end up doing the 6,000 miles will say this is one of the most picturesque, prettiest areas. So I don't get why everybody has to be bunched up and just go. Anyways, I wouldn't do it that way. I'm too independent. I don't want to follow anybody, and I really don't want anybody following me either. Except for you guys, because that's fun. Now, don't get me wrong, and don't get down on me for saying, oh, Paul, you know, some people like to go boating with other people, they like the camaraderie and all that. I get that, and I don't have an issue with that. We ourselves in the past, back in the day, used to do a lot of boating with fellow boaters, but 9 times out of 10 we weren't traveling through the locks together. Generally what we would do is we would all agree that we'll find a destination for a long weekend or something, and then make arrangements and make bookings, and everybody would go at their own pace and arrive, you know, within hours or a day of each other, and that was good. Little kitty cat's got some air conditioning going. Got a small fan on low just to keep them cool. Now my follow-up is that the issue that these loopers are going to find when they go through 6, 8 at a time, there's going to be very limited dock space for them as they keep moving along. You guys know that. You've been following my videos. You know that we're lucky to get at a lock wall with only one spot available just for us. So if these folks, unless they have made prior arrangements at other marinas, they are just going to really wing it and hope for the best that they're going to get to a destination which will accommodate all 6 or 8 of them. Now I'm sure that there's going to be some that will travel further afield in a day, but it's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, that's it. Buddy boats are okay. Okay, just talked to the lockmaster. I gave him a phone call, and remember folks, they do not monitor VHF radio anywhere on the system. None of the locks, none of the swing bridges. So anyways, so you have to phone. So I just gave him a phone call, and they said that they are just bringing a boat up in the lower chamber. And I see that the upper chamber back doors gates are open, so I'm sure they're just bringing them in now. They'll bring them up, open the gates, drive out, we go in, and boom, boom, boom. It's really hot out. Where's Anchor Girl even going? Just saying, Anchor Girl, it's nice to drop down in a lock at a reasonable speed. Oh man, all the other locks have been going down so slow. Don't know why. See, so now we are in the lower chamber of the lock, and then we're going to drop down, and those doors are going to become very big. So that is the Healy Falls lock number 14, and show you how close it is in proximity to the Healy Falls flight locks. Right there, that's where we just come out of, next to that beautiful power generating structure there. So not far, but they got a boat that they're just loading at the bottom of the other lock, so we gotta wait for them. It'll be a few minutes. that didn't work out very good.
You want me to undo it?
Yeah, just undo it, please. Sorry. Sorry, honey. The current just took me right out like that. Just toss that up on the bow. I'm going to come in port side like I wanted to. There we go.
Coming in hot here.
That was way more easy.
Oh yeah, like a baby.